Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Last time we actually completed this shrine right here and got a new rune stasis. So finally guys, we can actually freeze things in time. Pretty awesome. Enjoying it so far. Yeah, I can actually talk about that, what I just did there. So another cool feature I didn't explain in combat is actually running attacks. So let's go ahead and run forward here and then press the attack button. It's going to perform kind of like a quick strike, which is pretty cool. Can be used to initiate attacks here. And that also, cool thing, is it actually works like that with two-handed weapons as well. Let's go ahead and take out this axe. Let's go ahead and do a sprint attack. You can see almost doubling the time it takes to swing that. You can see boom, and you can see boom. So they can be pretty useful. I actually use them quite a lot, especially during entries and especially with two-handed weapons though. So anyone with a keen eye, real quick, I'll go ahead and explain this. I'll go ahead and explain this arrow down here, or this X on the map. Basically, I was doing my intro. Yeah. I am absolutely terrified. Oh! Should I be an idiot here? We're doing it. And that is why there's an X down there. Anyway, let's get going. Let's get to the next trial. I am pumped. Let's go ahead and get higher in the mountains here, and here we go. We can get into a new mechanic of Breath of the Wild. So while we start heading up here, you can see we're getting pretty high in the mountains, so let's go ahead and head up. And you can see that Fahrenheit meter there is actually climbing really, really fast. And as it gets towards that blue, when it hits that blue, basically that means it's too cold for Link to be able to survive. So when it hits that, basically it means you will freeze to death. So get out of there, basically. So for us, we have no way of actually getting to that shrine right now. If you guys remember, though, a couple episodes ago, we read the old man's diary, and he actually said that he had trips in the mountains. He said he had a way of getting up there. So let's go ahead and go and talk to him about that. So I'm pretty interested. Let's go ahead and drop down here. Yeah, climbing down mountains is something I would very low of the time advise. It's pretty dangerous, and there's no way to quickly do it, so you're just kind of like waddling down a mountain for like 20 minutes, but yeah, very steep mountains like this is gonna be most of your guys' deaths. It's pretty brutal. Like that, for example, things like that happen a lot. I almost just fell off there, but I went ahead and saved myself. I think that's good enough to drop from. I'm deciding if I should just try to jump there, but I'm not. It's not really worth risking, so let's go ahead and jump to the side. Then we can kind of drop down a bit. There we go, almost to the ground. You know what? Let's go ahead and jump from here. So that's enough to where we can just go ahead and fall. And wow, looks like we're gonna go ahead and have to chop this back down the other way. Let's go ahead and line up our hips again. Fell the tree. Got another Korok leaf out of it, but we're not gonna go ahead and need it. Let's go ahead and okay, okay, Link. We're not pushing the. Okay, we're not pushing the. No, Link, we're not doing that. Let's go ahead and get that back equipped, and let's go ahead and talk to this old man. Oh, another. Guys, I missed another lizard. Someone keep the tally. Someone keep a tally of how many lizards I've missed. I'm telling you, it's gonna be in the. It's gonna break 100 by the end of the series. Let's do our casual walk in and destroy his area again. Let's go ahead and just shove those pots everywhere. Anyway, let's go ahead and head back to his journal here. Not climb on the table. Let's go ahead and head back to his journal here. Let's go ahead and read this again. So, cooking. Spicy meat and seafood fry. Keeps me warm. And he also has a warm deblet. So, there we go. Let's go ahead and read some more. He forgot the recipe. Raw meat and spicy pepper. But he cannot remember what else was in it. So, that's about all we need. So, let's go ahead and figure out. We're going to have to figure out somewhere where we can find some raw meat. Let's go ahead and... Let's go ahead and check our map here. So, anywhere we can find some raw meat. I'd say maybe somewhere out here. Maybe somewhere out here. Maybe somewhere out here. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll head down here. We'll head somewhere around here. Kind of mess around in the forests a bit. There we go. Here's a stimulus room. But yeah, let's go ahead and just kind of walk around the forest here and see what we find. Keep on moving here. Got an apple. Ooh, got some more bokoblins up here, it looks like. Yeah, I don't know if that's worth it. Yeah, let's go ahead and just leave those guys alone for now. It does not look like there's too much around here. Trying to think, where would raw meat be? I was kind of thinking like maybe like a forest, you know what I mean? But it does not seem like we got lucky enough. We can make that for him. Actually, you know what? We'll be fine. Whoop. Squirrel. And we hit a squirrel. Got an acorn. Okay, wait a second. So first off, we just sniped a squirrel and got an acorn. So the squirrel just like dodged it and then just laid it. No! Guys, this is getting out of hand. You guys have no idea how many of these I have missed. I don't care that I found 6 acorns just now and sniped a squirrel. I have not found a lizard. A single lizard. Oh, man. Just let that sink in. Anyway, like he said, basically we can make something. Let's go ahead and head to our food here. He said that we would need spicy peppers, raw meat, and some other ingredient. Now, we could do that. However, let's just go ahead and combine 3 spicy peppers here. Let's go ahead and do that, and let's go ahead and cook that. That is going to go ahead and make us some spicy sauteed peppers. Now, you can see we have our regular food bar. We have what is going to recover us. But if we look to the right here, you can see it's going to go ahead and grant us low-level cold resistance. You can see we have the 1 cold meter going down, meaning that we can last longer in the cold, basically, for 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's going to be absolutely amazing for us, and that is going to be exactly how we're going to deal with this. That's going to be exactly how we're going to be able to travel out there. So, quickly going to go ahead and take out another bird here for a drumstick. And let's go ahead and... rip. Let's go ahead and head back up there. So if you guys actually get raw meat, you can actually do his recipe and get a cool reward out of it. But for me, just didn't get lucky, didn't find some raw meat, and simply cooking spicy peppers is good enough for you guys. So basically anything with spicy peppers in it, the more spicy peppers you add to your meal, the more you will, the more you'll basically have cold resistance. So let's go ahead and eat that spicy sauteed peppers. And you can see now that cold resistance is actually going to show up below our Fahrenheit. Now you can also see here, if you check out our Fahrenheit bar, you can see that that blue actually moved further down. Interesting feature. So now you can see we're coming through here, and that Fahrenheit bar normally would make us freezing, but in this case we've ate those sauteed peppers, so it's not the case. Let's go ahead and head down here. Got some bokoblins. Seems they aren't affected as much as us by the cold. So I guess we can go ahead and head down here and get a good sniping perch. Now remember, we only have 7 minutes out here, so we do want to be careful about how much how long we're out here. We don't want to be too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of try to speed this up, or quickly. We need to quickly get to the this last shrine. So gonna go ahead and fall here. Recover our stamina back. And I'm going to try my best to sneak by these guys. Oh, saw me. Yep, we're just going to run by them. Ooh, chest though. Let's go ahead and grab this chest and freeze time. Ooh, 5 arrows. Let's go ahead and wait a minute. And take off. Oh my god. Guys, it's worth it. Trust me. We need to get to the shrine. Go ahead and fall down here. We can actually make it around here. Looks like we got about 6 minutes left on our cold before we run out of there. Up there is actually where we're trying to get to. So, freezing lake does not seem fun. First off, let's actually come around here, and you can see this is kind of like a gate. This is the same thing. Right here is the cold. And you can see we actually have a large supply of spicy peppers out here. So I'm going to go ahead and collect all these just in case we need to make any more. So heading across here, we can actually do a couple of things. So we could either head all the way down here and kind of continue down that path, or we could try to make it over here and get to that boat. Now, before I do that, you can see there's a korok leaf here. There's a lot of wood back here, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. Pretty sweet. And looks like we got some cooking here, so somehow we can make a fire. I'm not sure how, but if we figured out a way to make a fire here, we could actually cook some stuff. So, time's running down here. So the thing here that's interesting, let's go ahead and first, you can see there's a chest in there, so I'm actually going to see if it's magnetic, and yes it is, so let's go ahead and pull that out, place it down here, and we got a chest, and another amber, so sweet, got a prize for being there. Let's go ahead and see what this is, a woodcutter's axe, so something about cutting wood. What else is down here? Looks like another chest. Let's go ahead and pull that one up. Pull that one towards us. Let's go ahead and open that up. Another amber. So, sweet. 2 ambers. Now we're getting to 4 minutes. So, somehow it's trying to get us to go across there. Nothing magnetic. See if this guy has anything on him. Ancient screw. Yeah, so we can see a korok leaf. That's about it, though. How about we test out trying to get across this? See, I would, but I'm trying not to get frozen. Basically, if you fall on that, it's, I'm pretty sure, an instant game over. So yeah, we might not want to do that. We can actually test it. You know what? You know what? We're gonna test it. And that's what happens if you dive into freezing water, guys. That is what you want to avoid happening. So, what have we learned? We have learned not to dive into cold water. I like how we've had like 3 deaths, I think, already, and all 3 of them have been from things that weren't monsters. All 3 of them have been things from just us doing things stupid. I actually got some eyeballs here. A Keese eyeball, a rare material dropped by defeating a Keese. It's fun to look at, but it doesn't seem to have much use at first glance. Must be good for something. Let's go ahead and grab 2 of those. So yeah, so I guess we can't cross this. Don't see too much we can actually do here. Yeah, we'll be fine. Let's just go ahead and press on over here. Ooh, so it's nighttime, so we're actually going to have another look at these guys. We can actually test out our runes here. So let's go ahead and lay a mine almost with our magnetic bombs, run a little bit, and explode those guys. So you can actually see that can actually be used for felling trees, but also slowing those guys down. So now they're slow enough. They have to recover, so they're not going to be able to make it to us. Let's also go ahead and dodge these keys here. And another new enemy. This is crazy. Let's go ahead and use one shot here. Oof. First look at a new enemy here. This is a frozen Choo-Choo, I believe. These guys are basically regular Choo-Choo, but when they do that dive attack and hit you, they have a chance of freezing you there. So I'm going to go ahead and throw or drop a bomb at him. So let's go ahead and let him jump at me. Jump. I'm going to freeze him and then blow him up there. And there we go. White Choo-Choo jelly. So basically jelly, but white. Yeah, there we go. Simple way of defeating those guys. Also got some more keys here. Not sure how they died. Let's go ahead and head over here. Oof, and 2 more. Let's go ahead and drop our bomb here. Both of them are going to jump. And big explosion there, and we can actually collect those guys. Yeah, I like to use bombs for a lot of things in this game. I think bombs are one of the most versatile weapons in this game, so I like to always have them up there in that top rune spot. A lot of the runes are useful, but for me, I like to have the bombs at the ready. Here we go. Go ahead and just chuck bombs at them too. Instead of just setting traps, we can just go ahead and use them offensively. Here we go. And about across here. Got a couple more keys. We can also do the same thing with bombs for keys. Missed one, but also got one. There's a couple more key swings. Oop, can search another guardian here for another ancient screw. Keep working with those, because building up a lot of those, like I said, can be very, very useful. Also, seems we have a bit of a camp up there. Might take that on a bit later. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's go ahead and use magnesis here. So, we can go ahead and use magnesis to cross this without freezing to death. So yeah, let's definitely go ahead and do that. Hopefully it doesn't get washed away. There we go. And now we can safely make our way across. Ooh, check that out. But yeah, we'll definitely have to take on this camp. I'm actually gonna mark that. Yeah, let's go ahead and mark that camp there, and we can actually change that to a skull stamp. So skull stamps, I like to use these guys for basically marking enemy camps. So enemy camps, strong enemies, anything like that. Anything related to enemies, I like to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and pull out our bombs again. Another new enemy here. We got ice keys. Let's go ahead and repeat the process of dealing with most of these guys, though. Go ahead and got our sword, or got our bombs recharging, so we're gonna have to use our sword there. Key swings, and that is not good, guys. We have finally was not checking on that, and we actually ran out of cold. Actually ran out of cold there, so we ran out of cold resistance. So we're actually gonna have to probably. I don't think we can make it there on time. Interesting. Yeah, guys, we did not come prepared here. So, yeah, every time I like to come on these, I like to typically eat or bring at least 2 or 3 food items that will recover will keep me warm. Guess we spent a little bit too much time out here in the freezing cold, and it's getting to us. So now we're gonna have to basically rush up to the tower and hope we don't get killed. So it's basically where we're at here. Gonna go ahead and eat a couple baked apples, maybe some seared steak, keep our health high, and make our way to this shrine. So yeah, out here it can be you have to deal with several things at a time. So I wasn't paying attention, wasn't watching my bar, and you guys can actually get a good look here at what happens. Basically, it just drains your health. So next time we come up here to explore a little bit more, we're actually gonna have to bring a bit more as far as fire resistance goes. Oop, dropping some snowballs on us there. Let's go ahead and eat. Let's eat this roasted bass. Those snowballs. Enemy camp. I'm going to go ahead and drop a bomb here. Let's go ahead and drop one of those. Oop. Let's go ahead and drop it and blow those guys up. Hopefully that did it about. Let's go ahead and do the same thing again. And I actually like to use that little trick there to keep guys off me for a while. So here we go, made it to the shrine. I'm going to go ahead and throw a bomb down there, blow those guys up, take them out. Go ahead and eat some of these roasted bird drumstick, and we can go ahead and head into the shrine. So the cool thing about shrines too, which we can get into now, is I will not freeze in a shrine. So a shrine has the basic temperature, so never have to worry about temperature in shrines, only outside of shrines. So as soon as we head inside here, we're actually not going to take damage anymore. So let's go ahead and do that. To you who sets foot in the shrine, I am Kennemut. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. The Cryonis Trial. Here we go, guys. Next time on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, we'll be taking on the Cryonis Trial. See you guys then. Cut. Hey guys, welcome back to some more Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Last time we made it to the Cryonis Trial and avoided freezing to death, luckily. Yeah, I did not come prepared in that last episode, so I had to use a lot of my food items, but we made it through. We got 6 spicy peppers too, so after this we can go ahead and fix us up a lot of items for dealing with that. Let's go ahead and get our final rune here. Let's go ahead and Sheikah Slate authenticating. Let's go ahead and get this rune here. Here we go. And Cryonis. Create a pillar of ice from a water surface. Rune extracted. So this, like I said earlier, this is going to be our last rune for certain things. You can see we have one more slot here, but this is going to be our last rune that is actually usable in combat, usable in any type of situation. So the last rune is something special, but we'll get into that a bit later. But these are going to be the main runes that we're going to be using almost all the time. So before I forget, let's go ahead and let's eat another roasted bird drumstick just to get the full health. Anyway, with Cryonis equipped, actually figure out how it works a little bit here. You can see that once we have something placed, you can see we can actually freeze kind of like a pillar, which is pretty insane. But that's not really going to help us here. How it will help us, though, we could place a pillar like this, and these are climbable, so we could just climb up here and then continue on. However, let's go ahead and press A again to shatter that. What I like to do is aim underfoot by pressing back on the D-pad. Now I can simply line up here and it'll go up for us. And now we can just simply walk across. So for me, that's how I like to do it. Let's go ahead and shatter that one and keep on going. Let's go ahead and head down here. So now we're going to have to deal with how to get this gate up. For me, let's go ahead and just place it underneath that gate and go ahead and lift it up. And there we go. Cryonis, yet again, working. Let's go ahead and drop that. Here we go. First enemy, I like to actually block it, use it as some type of block. So let's go ahead and use that. And there we go. We can actually use it now as a shield. So another use of Cryonis. Cryonis, however, can only be used anywhere that has water. So does get a little bit kind of split off. It has very particular uses, but when those uses are there, it's very, very useful. Very, very strong. Here we go. Got a basic seesaw puzzle here. Anyone who's ever been on a playground knows what I should be doing here. Let's go ahead and set up that. And there we go. Can get a little path here for ourselves. There we go. And we're rolling through these. Let's keep on moving. Yeah, Cryonis is great. And there we go. Oop. Yeah, you guys thought I was gonna miss it. So how we're gonna deal with this? I'm gonna go ahead here and set kind of like a middle ground for myself. That way I can go ahead and jump, make it there, and now jump a second time and make it up to the chest. Let's go ahead and open this one up. And a Traveler's Spear. Awesome. Got another Traveler's Gear. So, we'll go ahead and check our inventory a bit. You know what? While the Traveler's Spear does do less damage than the Farmer's Pitchfork, actually, no, we'll drop a Boko Club. We'll drop a Boko Club for a Traveler's Spear. I was gonna take the Traveler's Spear over the Pitchfork, but I was actually the more I thought about it, the more I was like, hey, wait, we can just drop that Boko Spear. So anyway, let's go ahead and head back up here. And let's wrap this trial up. Check that out. In only about 5 minutes, finished that entire trial. Here we go. Your resourcefulness in overcoming this trial speaks to the promise of a hero. In the name of Goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you this spirit orb. And there we go, guys. That makes four spirit orbs now, and 4 of our shrines completed. May the goddess smile upon you. Once again, Pulling an Obi-Wan Kenobi. There we go though, guys. Got all 4 shrines completed. Time for the paraglider. Finally, after all of these travels, we finally get to get a paraglider. With this, you have now acquired all of the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Oh ho ho, extraordinary. That means it is finally time. Link, it's finally time for me to tell you everything. But first, imagine an X on your map, with the 4 shrines as the endpoints. Find the spot where those lines intersect. I shall wait for you there. Do you understand? Where 2 lines cross, connecting the shrines would cross, there I will be waiting. Wow, guys, so he's actually telling us where these 4 shrines intersect. That is where we're going to have a meeting with him, the old man. So let's go ahead and check this out here. So shrine number 1, shrine number 2, shrine number 3, and shrine number 4. Let's go ahead and check that out. This is about the middle ground, so anyone who recognizes this, I think this is where he meant. So let's go ahead and mark that. There you go. Took on the Cryonis Shrine. Let's head back to the Shrine of Resurrection. Cool tip up there. Ladders actually don't deplete your stamina, which is pretty cool. But jumping on the ladder will. Not too big of a deal. Here we go, guys. We need to get to the Temple of Time to have a meeting with the old man. Let's go ahead and equip our bombs here. We're back at the Shrine of Resurrection, where we started this journey. And we've already come this far. But not quite to the castle. Let's go ahead and head down to the Temple of Time. The old man is no longer here. Before we head there, though, let's go ahead and have a dive. Korok seed, yahaha, you found me. That is going to mark number 2. So these Korok seeds, not much information is really given about them so far. We'll get into them a bit later about their actual uses, but for now, not too many. Basically, we just know that we have to collect them. So, for now, just anytime you see something weird, just mess around, and you might get a Korok seed out of it. Here we are, guys. The Temple of Time. You who have conquered the shrines and claimed their spirit orbs, I can offer you great power. It appears you have claimed 4 spirit orbs. In exchange for 4 spirit orbs, I will amplify your being. So tell me, what is it that you desire? Now, here you can go ahead and pick either a heart container or a stamina vessel. For me, I'm personally going to go ahead and pick a heart container for certain reasons. More durability is a very good one right off the bat, but there is an alternative motive behind this, so I would recommend personally going ahead and getting as many heart containers in a row as you can right now, but nothing wrong with going stamina vessel. You wish for another heart container, yes? Yes. I shall grant the power you seek. Here we go, guys, our first heart container. Your life force has been strengthened, increasing your maximum number of hearts by 1. Check out that top left there, guys. Finally got 4 hearts instead of 3. Go and bring peace to Hyrule. The blessing of the goddess has made you that much more resilient, I see. Here I am. Get up here quickly. This was actually on top of the roof. Looks like we gotta meet him there. Let's go ahead and search another one of these, though. Another ancient spring. And here we go. Let's go ahead and take this ladder. Here we are, guys. We made it to the Temple of Time. And now, to the top.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King of Rome Bosphoramus Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists. The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, lo, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess sent to inherit a sacred power, and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the divine beasts, turned against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The Immortal Knight bravely collapsed on the living princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Shiba slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
go on. Here is the paraglider, just as I promised. The paraglider, finally guys, an item that you received from the king on the Great Plateau. It allows you to sail through the sky. Press X while you're in the air to use it. And there we go, we completed the isolated plateau. With that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding this area. And I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Link, you must save Hyrule. Next time, guys, on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, we will finally leave the Great Plateau. See you guys then.